Welcome to the Hard&Soft Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Yo, welcome to the next edition of the Hard&Soft Pro Wrestling Podcast. This is the Big Softy, you know the name, and I'm here with the hardest man I know, Mr. Big Hard. Big Hard, how you doing, bro?
Yo, what's happening, Big Softy? You know who it is, the Big Hard, C Hard. Happy to be here again. It's a new day, a new era, a new year, eh?
New year.
You know what I mean? Here we go. We had a pretty eventful weekend. And Monday Night Raw was pretty jam-packed last night. So, you know, Hard and Soft are just here to kind of go over what happened this weekend, give our little hot takes, if we have any.
The hottest.
Yeah, I mean, what'd you think of World's End?
Yeah, man, I mean, new year and definitely a jam-packed wrestling weekend. Every weekend seems to be jam-packed with pro wrestling nowadays. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Big Hard, how was your New Year's, dude?
Oh, man, New Year's was great.
Awesome. All right.
Happy to see the ball drop. And, yeah, I mean, I'm ready to kick off 2024 and get it started.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, man, let's start with World's End. So what'd you think of the pay-per-view? What'd you catch? Overall thoughts?
I mean, pretty good show, all in all.
Now.
I guess Keith Lee couldn't be there, so they switched out Dustin Rhodes for Keith Lee. I mean, I don't mind Dustin Rhodes. I'm a fan of him, but it's
yeah. I
funny.
mean, what do you do? One of your guys goes down. He doesn't get cleared. Whatever.
But it's funny that like Keith Lee posted something online like the day before saying like about how like he's gonna give it his best, and then they bait and switched anyway. So it's like I don't know, but it's still a good match. Swerve went over, obviously, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Moxley and Kingston was a good match, and like we both predicted, Kingston won that.
I see a lot of people like shitting on the Continental Classic. I mean, I get it. I didn't love it either, but at least to me, it made Kingston look a lot better. You know, I don't care about the titles that he has, but him beating Danielson and then beating Moxley on Saturday, I think Kingston's right there. He puts himself into the world title hunt probably.
Yeah, I could see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Kingston versus Samoa Joe coming at you.
Well, you never know.
Yeah,
and then
obviously,
the match that stole the show, Edge and Christian went out and absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, Edge is still out there performing great matches. I mean, it's kind of shitty how the table spot got botched, because when you're watching it, it's like Nick Wayne like goes over the table, doesn't go through. But hey, man, to actually put a flaming table spot on a pay-per-view is pretty cool, because I mean, we've been seeing it at the Indies a couple times, which is pretty badass being there live, seeing it. So I'm sure the live crowd loved that. I wish it just would have went right through, but I mean, who can really complain about that? You know what I mean?
I mean, I see a lot of that too. People making fun of it, and I'm like,
well, you don't have to make fun of it. I mean,
it's live TV, dude. You know.
Yeah. I like to see you set up a flaming table and get the spot perfect. At least they weren't trying some like Canadian destroyer through the table. You know what I mean? And it's what can you do? But
I always like pay-per-views that have those big car crash of matches. And this was certainly one. Did you see, obviously, okay, the flaming table spot, the fact that they even attempted that is awesome. Love it. Edge is off the balcony, a la Sting. Love it. A la New Jack.
Pretty sweet.
Did you see that Edge was wearing similar or the same gear as he wore at WrestleMania 22? Did you notice that?
Yeah, I guess he came out wearing the vest. Yeah. So it's kind of like I don't know if, I guess it's like a tribute, you know what I mean? So I'm sure he knew people were going to be like, oh, man. It's just like when you come out for a street fight in jeans or or in a T-shirt, you know the thumbtacks are coming out. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that was awesome. But then they have Edge win, and then Killswitch comes out and gives Christian the contract he won earlier in the night in that 20-man battle royal, and Christian walks away with the TNT title again. So,
what do you think of that?
I mean, it's cool in the fact that Edge doesn't need that title. I mean, come on. Edge is the
Right.
TNT champion. I really don't see him coming to AEW trying to be the TNT champion. But it was good he got the win over Christian, which is basically all he needed. And I think that'll kind of end that feud for now. Edge should kind of either – I don't know. I don't see them having another match anytime soon. I mean, that kind of match should kind of sum up a story there for a minute.
Yeah, I think it was good booking. I mean, you got the blow off, you got the big match between Edge and Christian. Obviously, they had a good time doing that. They pulled out all the stops, and then I think it was good booking at the end. They can still have again their feud. They had their big match. Now it should be about getting Killswitch and Nick Wayne or whoever else over. So if that's what they're planning to do, I think it was great.
Yeah, so I think they should let Christian keep doing what he's doing. Kind of move on from Edge for like 6 months. And then maybe in 6 months down the road or however long or short, you have Christian kind of turn back. And then you end with Christian and Edge as Christian and Edge tag teaming again. And that's kind of their send-off maybe. I don't know, because you can't really stop Christian's thing right now. His run's going pretty good. Everybody's loving it. So I wouldn't just stop that just to team him with Edge right away. Keep this going for a little bit. And have Killswitch and Nick Wayne maybe turn on Christian. And that puts him back with Edge. But yeah, I like that match. It was great.
As long as Christian and Edge can control their own booking a little bit, I think it'll be successful, regardless of what they do. They've been in the business 20 years, and having them continue their story or just have a strong opinion on what their storyline should be is going to be pivotal for AEW to stay concurrent and stay relevant. So I like that. I thought that was a good spot in the pay-per-view. Let's move on to the main event, dude. I mean, Samoa Joe beats MJF via rear naked choke via submission. What'd you think?
So, I mean, he beats him clean.
Yeah.
And then they even have the devil. They reveal the devil, but the devil didn't even help Samoa Joe win the match, which is kind of weird in one thing. I guess it's good that Samoa Joe got that good, clean win, but I mean, what does that do for MJF after everything that he just did?
I think obviously
he did pass out, right? It wasn't a tap out; it was a pass out. So, I mean, you can kind of go from there a little bit. You kind of have a little bit of room.
I think it's either MJF is hurt and needs time off. I think that's inevitable. I think that's for sure. His hips all jacked and his shoulder, or he hasn't decided what he's going to do, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think that him losing on Saturday was like the A plan. I think they had to pivot, right, with all the things going on, and I think Samoa Joe going over clean. If MJF needs to get some time away, then I like a clean win for Samoa Joe. It's a little weird that he's your world champion, but if they book it right, again, I think it could be successful. And I like the devil reveal. I thought it was as good as it could be. And at least, again, there was some interest in that match, and it was all kind of built on that devil reveal. So I thought it was good.
Yeah. I mean, Samoa Joe as the world champ is kind of questionable to me. Just nothing against Samoa Joe. He's great. I mean, I do like the fact that he's champ, but there's just so many other people. And I know that they probably had to do this all injuries, and that's cool. And at least give Samoa Joe that clean win, so at least he's a dominant champ. Like at least the fact that people like me, are saying, well, why is he the champ? Well, he did beat the champ clean, passed him out. You know what I mean, with the choke. So that is pretty cool. But the devil reveal for me wasn't the greatest, and like I said, I just wasn't looking forward to it being Adam Cole because when I say like he's not a star. I don't mean that he hasn't done anything. I just mean like, look who's okay. So you have Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins as the champ on the other, and in WWE. And then, I mean, how am I going to believe that Adam Cole is a world champion? I don't know.
Well,
that's fine.
Look.
Then you have Kyle or go ahead.
No, I just think what we need to do as fans is, and I think what AEW needs to do too, is recognize and realize that they're the alternative. It's not a competition. Okay. I get it that it's in the same sport, right? It's in the same business. So there is that direct correlation between the two, but just keep being the alternative. And we can't compare it to the WWE because the WWE is always going to be leaps and bounds bigger and better. However, it's great that AEW is in business and hopefully they can find a way to become successful and stay in business because I don't want them to go away. I think Adam Cole can at least cut his own promo. Again, he understands pro wrestling, and in a company that kind of lets guys go, right? Like doesn't script promos and kind of doesn't book their matches. It doesn't seem there's a lot of freedom there. They need guys that can cut good promos and that could intertwine a good storyline. So I think Adam Cole on top in contention for whenever, hopefully if MJF is going to stay with AEW, I think that's going to be money down the road when MJF does come back. If he does come back, him and Adam Cole are going to have a good program.
Yeah, I hope for AEW that MJF is staying because I see that they took him off the roster page, but I mean,
you never know
they do that all the time.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing that because everybody knows his contract expired January 1st. So, I think almost them taking him off right away was almost a tell that he did sign. I believe that he signed with AEW, but yeah, for me, it's just I'm not an Adam Cole fan, but
yeah,
I mean, and I'm really not a Roderick Strong fan, and it's just
me
like
neither.
Here we go. Like I just can't stand that, and like the Kingdom guys, I'm not really a fan of them.
Well, if you weren't watching Ring of Honor back in the day, you're probably not a fan. Like I wasn't.
Yeah,
I like I enjoy that they're leaning into like the history of pro wrestling. I get that, but I wasn't a huge fan of Ring of Honor. I really didn't know about it when I was growing up, right? So unless you were a 25 to 35 male, right, at that time, you probably didn't know either.
Yeah, and one other thing is like, why is Wardlow in the group? It made no sense to me that Wardlow's not the ring leader. You know what I mean? Like, so I thought Wardlow was going to be going after the title, or
I think he
maybe
is.
Since Adam Cole's injured, they can have Wardlow go for it. I just don't know why he would be a henchman for the Devil.
Yeah. Well,
I think Wardlow needs to be on his own. Yeah,
no, I agree. I agree with that. And I think he can contend for a world title at some point. And I like the fact that they're pushing him. I do think, though, that, you speak of Wardlow. I think AEW is doing something right in the fact that, in 2019, if a lot of those guys, those homegrown guys, came into the Royal Rumble, it wouldn't be a big deal. Now, if you had Orange Cassidy's and Wardlow's and MJF's and Darby Allin's and a bunch of different guys, if they switched ships and went to the WWE, you'd be like, holy shit. They are kind of built up. They are kind of doing well in that sense a little bit,
I think Wardlow should be like their next champ because like that's the guy right there.
And he should stop
they have a big
man bombs and shit like that.
Yeah, just do the power bombs, man.
Man.
But yeah, I mean it was a great show overall. Nothing too crazy. I mean, pretty much everybody thought it was going to be Adam Cole. I didn't think that MJF was going to lose the title though, and I definitely didn't think he's going to lose it clean.
Dude, that's huge right now.
They definitely are playing up on the fact that he didn't re-sign, which is pretty cool.
Well, what do you think, Chris? Let's spend a little time because I have 4 things going into the new year that I think, and again, this is coming from a guy that's never booked wrestling, hasn't been involved in the business, so I don't know. 4 things that I think as a fan would make them better. Number 1, AEW's got to secure MJF. You can't lose him. Now, my personal feeling for MJF, if he's smart, he'll go to WWE. He'll make millions of dollars there. He'll do extremely well. I'm sure they'll love to have him. After he takes some time to heal up. I think if he's smart about his own career, WWE is where he should be. He's ready for it.
And while he's healing up, he could be down at the Performance Center.
However, I'm not the guy that's been there 5 years building up that brand, and he has some kind of homegrown feelings for there. So I don't know what his decision is, but Tony Khan in AEW needs to secure MJF and pay up, man.
Yeah, that's for sure. What's your number
And
2 here?
well, number 2, I think they need to lean into the narrative that, again, they're the alternative, right? Be the alternative. Never change that. In 2019, I was so, I think the world of wrestling fans was so happy to see something different, right? And a world without competition for the WWE has proven not to be as good as it is now. I mean, if we'll get into Monday night, that show was awesome.
Yeah.
And be the alternative, man. Just splice in, intertwine really good storytelling, like The Devil, or remember when Cody and Dustin had their brother versus brother thing? That was great. Do things like that. Splice in those things and build up pay-per-views with matches that we care about. But still keep putting on your banger matches. Just splice in a couple, That's my one point. And then number 2, which I think would help them anyway, and it's not a huge deal maybe to us, but I want to see them enhance their women's division. I think, again, what a really good move would be adding someone like Ronda Rousey as a heel. Sign her. I don't know. I saw her. She showed up.
She showed up for Ring of Honor, so
bring her in, right? And her story should be, I'm the real athlete. You guys are doing all these flips. I'm going to come in and whip ass and go take that women's title. And I think that would get mega heat with their crowd. And I think it would be great. And again, matches like that and stories like that would bring some legitimacy to AEW, which they strongly needed. And my last point, Chris, and then I'll let you speak. Book smaller arenas. Book smaller arenas. Sell them out. Book a 5,000-seat arena. Sell it out. That's going to add to your product. I mean, remember the one-night stands? We would go through those cards and be like, wait, there's only 2,000 people in there? Dude, it feels like so much more. Book smaller shows. It's going to get the crowd into it. And like we saw Monday night, like the opening match, Nia Jax and Becky Lynch, that storyline was hot and the crowd was into it. So that made me as a viewer want to really watch it. The big reactions from the crowd. So I think small arenas, legitimacy towards their storylines and wrestling. Just make it so that I can tune in and not see through all their stuff and still be hooked on to some good old school storytelling. That's it.
Yeah, I think one thing I was going to say was just that you brought that up, the smaller arena thing, because there's no point. Like this Wednesday, they're going to the Prudential Center.
Yeah.
And we went to see Full Gear at the Prudential Center, like a pay-per-view. So why are you going for an AEW Dynamite in the Prudential Center? It's not gonna. It's not set up for, I don't know, a small Dynamite crowd, which, 5,000 people isn't gonna look great in that arena. They should go to. I mean, you might as well just go to Temple. Go to the LaCoria Center.
Like, but even at the LaCoria Center, they're not selling it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's one thing that would help the TV product. Yeah. And I look forward to seeing what they're gonna do this year. So I'm hoping that they step it up, and like you said, just be a little bit different. You know what I mean? Do the storylines. Everybody wants to see that. Every wrestling fan likes that. But yeah, you just can't do bang, 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 match, move over and over. People aren't gonna tune in for that. And
right, and that's what's happening, Chris. I mean, you're exactly right. People aren't tuning in, and I know it sounds like we're shitting on it, and there's a lot of negativity towards AEW. But go ahead.
You could say the same stuff about like SmackDowns and Raws. I mean, half the time I don't want to sit there and watch a 3-hour Raw. I mean, half the show is a recap, and but you don't see as many people hating on the Raws, which is funny because sometimes literally it's hard to get through that Raw, and really the best parts of it are the beginning and the end. Last night they snuck us in with a nice 10 o'clock spot, but we'll get to that. Last night's show was awesome, but that's one Raw out of 52 this year. So we're not saying that every Raw is great, and WWE does great stuff.
I think what AEW, no, I think what Tony Khan tried to do is accelerate the growth of AEW and compete directly with the WWE. Let's sell out Wembley and then let's book all these huge shows and do it. Let's do WWE better than WWE.
Yeah,
It doesn't
no, that's
work.
not going to happen.
It's not working. It's not working, and it's not retaining viewership. And I don't really get into all of that stuff. I'm not interested really. But what I am interested in is hopefully AEW can stay on a TV show. I think they're too good not to be on TV. So they need to.
Yeah.
And there's news around that, whether they're going to lose their TV deal. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, that would suck because
but
honestly,
money talks, and right, yeah.
They got to pull something up here, and hey, and as a wrestling fan, even if I bitch about it, I'm still gonna sit there and watch it every week.
Hell
who
yeah.
am I? But yeah, last night's Raw was pretty jam packed. I mean, the building was packed. Great crowd, like you said, for the opening match. And I mean, Nia Jax versus Becky Lynch, but they actually made it seem bigger than it was. You know what I mean? And
and that's the thing. That's the thing, Chris. Like, dude, they're not reinventing the wheel. You had Nia Jax. And I boo-boo faced Nia Jax. I'm not going to tune in to watch Nia Jax, right? But I did last night because they're selling the punch that she broke Becky's nose, right? And Becky is like desperately trying to get the win back to kind of clear her name. And Nia is doing classic heel stuff and stringing her along, saying, I don't need to wrestle you. You need to wrestle me week after week and week after week. So when they finally have that match to open the show at day one, a special episode of Monday Night Raw, I was kind of like, here we go. And then the crowd was into it. And then I got into it. And that's because
the match was pretty good.
They had great storyline leading in, and that's why you want to see what happens next. You care, right?
Yeah. It was a good match. Great storyline during the match, and it was cool how Nia Jax came up with the win. I mean, make her dominant. Why? I don't know why they keep making her look like a joke. She's the biggest woman they have in the division. Make that her thing. Dominate. When she dominated last night, she got that big punch on Becky, and then hit her,
which looked great.
Yeah, it did. And then she hit her with that the bonsai or the annihilator.
No, keep calling it bonsai.
Bonsai!
Which looked great too. It looked devastating.
She got the 1, 2, 3, and now I'm curious to see where it goes from here because obviously Becky's gonna have to get her win back.
Right.
Or maybe this story keeps going and going and going, and now Nia Jax is just like, hey Becky, you're in my rearview mirror. Like, you got to do X, Y, and Z to get me again. So,
right. Well,
drawing me in.
I like that match, and a telltale sign for me is, my girlfriend, she begged and pleaded to watch Monday Night Raw last night, so I obliged.
I bet.
And at the end, when that bonsai drop hit, she was like, "Oh shit, dude, that's the wrestling business."
That's how you know.
She's not a fan, and she's just watching, and she's like, "Oh, this fake shit looks pretty real." That's what we're looking for. You know,
that's what you got to get done.
That 8-year-old kid in the crowd is saying the same thing. He's looking up at his dad like, "Holy shit!" That's what the wrestling business is.
He's thinking that real, and she's squashing her, for real. And that's what you want to see.
They didn't have to jump through tables and ladders and chairs and do a bunch of flippy dippies. Just good story and hard hitting stuff, and that's what we got. So I thought it was great. You alluded to that 10 o'clock hour, and speaking of that,
before that,
okay.
we got to talk about this R-Truth and
how good
mid segment with Judgment Day. I mean, R-Truth is killing it for me right now. Every time he's on TV, it's much see. And I mean, the tag match that they set up and how Truth was playing it up the whole match. He's sitting in the neutral corner, waiting for tags, or he's tagging in himself from JD and trying to tag in Dominic, and he's acting like this is like a test from the Judgment Day for him, but it's not. And I mean, it was great at the end because he tags himself in, and then JD McDonough is like, "Okay, you want to tag in? Then go attack Miz." And he holds his hands up, and Truth does the Shawn Michaels HP or the Shawn Michaels Ric Flair for WrestleMania and says the "I'm sorry, I love you." Goes for the punch. Hits Miz ducks, hits JD, and then Miz gets the win with the skull crushing finale. And then it's just great. Truth is playing this up with his Judgment Day thing, and I'm really liking that storyline. I mean, you can
Well,
put Truth out there, and I'm
how
into it.
good is the WWE doing right now?
Yeah, they're doing good.
Firing on all cylinders.
And when Dom comes out there and tries to talk on the mic, it is so good because they
Dude.
just boo him. And I mean, I was watching a review video from last night, and somebody in the comments said that they were there, and they were, because people say that it's piped in, and he was like, I could tell you last night that was not piped in. Like that crowd was booing the crap out of it. It's great. He tries to talk and he can't.
2 years ago, a year ago, we were boo-boo facing Dominic Mysterio, and look at him now.
Yeah, and I still hate his guts, but it's funny watching him on TV. You know what I mean? I like to see him get his butt kicked now.
We're in the golden age of the WWE. I mean, they're firing on all cylinders. They can do the comedy. They're doing the big surprise returns. They have great homegrown talent. They're putting on great shows, and they have. I mean, the sky is the freaking limit for them, man.
And they were hyping up the rumors that old WWE or ex WWE champion was coming back, and
then Jinder Mahal coming.
Awesome. I'm thinking in my head like, all right, well they got us. I mean, hey, it's a ex champ. They're right. I really wasn't happy with it, but hey, he came out and cut a decent promo on the crowd, and I mean, then you're kind of thinking like when it's going and going and going, it's like, all right, wait a second, like what's about to happen? And I mean, what do you know?
If you smell, who's bigger, the millions
and millions
of Rock's fans, or the millions
and millions
of Hard&Soft Nation members? I don't know who's bigger, man. We'll have to ask the Rock himself.
No, it's bigger. Come on, it's Hard&Soft.
I bet the Rock doesn't have his own cup.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure he has 1,000 of them in his cabinet. But I mean, The Rock comes out and he just totally annihilates Jinder. I mean, I hope for Jinder's sake, I hope he's not actually coming back for a run, because I mean, The Rock just squashed him on the mic. But Jinder could still come back from it, whatever. But I mean, he was even cursing at him, doing the
pulling out all the stops.
It was great, and it's funny because I feel like The Rock doesn't need to throw in like all the like he threw in like 4 different curse words last night in one promo. And yeah, but I just feel like The Rock doesn't need to do it. But every time The Rock comes out, you're getting gold. Yeah. And he had the whole crowd yelling "Day One douchebag."
Yeah.
One side here and one side here, going back and forth. And I mean, they wouldn't even stop. It's like, the crowd usually dies out after maybe 5 or 6, but The Rock had to start talking and stop them, because they were just going to keep going, which was great. Mm-hmm. And then we got some action from The Rock, and that comment at the end,
dude.
Which, I mean, has everybody lit on fire right now. I think it's going to be Elimination Chamber, Rock and Roman.
So let's talk about it, man. I mean, it's the first time on camera that they're strongly alluding to the fact
it wasn't online.
Right.
That was great. He's like, am I going to eat at the bar? Am I going to eat at a booth?
What a reaction, dude. And you know what that reaction screams? $dollar bills.
Oh, my God.
Here comes the money.
Shane O'Mac, baby. Dollar money, 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 money. But I think it's definitely going to be at the Elimination Chamber. It doesn't need to be at Mania. So I think, I don't know, that they're going to give big money, because that show's in Australia. You know what I mean? Come on. The Rock will show up for a show like that.
It makes sense. It won't take a lot of, I mean, the story's already there, right? The story, that match sells itself.
Rock doesn't even need to make one more appearance before the match.
I wouldn't want to, yeah. No, that's true. And
just have Roman and Heyman talk about it. I mean, Roman put out a tweet last night. It was just like the laughing face. Like,
was it?
Yeah, it's great though. I like how he mentioned it, and I mean, it's just funny because you almost think like Rock has almost carte blanche just to go out there and say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think they give him any kind of
do
you tell them? Do they tell him, "Hey, Rock, please don't say the F word," or like?
I don't. I think he's done it. He's one of the best. He doesn't need to hear that. They probably just say like, "Look, this is what we want to do. This is what we're thinking. We want to build you and Roman. Go out and cut a promo on Jinder. Do the whole USA versus whatever. and hit a rock bottom or whatever, and throw an elbow pad out in the crowd. Do your thing. It's gonna work. And just make sure at the end we draw money. And drawing money is I'll sit at the head of the table. And the pop was crazy. The only thing it doesn't really matter when and where they do it. It'll be awesome. I'm with you. I don't think it's gonna be at Mania. I don't know, and I don't know what the best. I'm still undecided if I want to see Roman drop the title. I would want to see Rock Roman, not for the title though, because if it's with the WWE Championship on the line, you really think The Rock's going to win the title?
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah.
So then you know the finish. You know at the end who's going to win. I'd really want that match to be, you never know.
Okay, how about this? How about this in a fantasy world? This happens. I mean, they bring Punk back, okay?
Yeah.
And he's pretty much guaranteed to main event one of the nights of WrestleMania. And I mean, if they put the title on The Rock and have him go into Mania with it, I mean, I was just watching a clip of CM Punk's pipe bomb, and it's talking about
it makes me
Dwayne
sick.
comes here, and it makes me sick. Yeah, so it would just be funny. I mean, not funny, not really funny at all. But I don't think that is definitely not going to happen. But yeah, you're right. Maybe if it's not for the title, we might think that Rock's going to win. But there really is no way Rock should be beating Roman Reigns. I mean, Roman Reigns should beat him. And I mean, it would be cool to see him beat him in a crowd of 60K in Australia. You know, that's going to be a big show. So I think Roman Reigns, I don't think he needs the win, but I really doubt that The Rock is going to go over. I don't know. I mean,
no, me too. And I don't think necessarily it's the only thing about Roman matches is I really haven't had a real strong thought that he would lose in any of his matches. Really. Only the Cody at Mania, I thought there's a good shot. That was really the only one. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see that. So it was cool to see The Rock come out, and
that'll be the biggest match in a while.
Yeah, that's for sure. That'll be a great match, and I mean the draw will be great. I mean, they could just set up a video package that put it to Limp Bizkit maybe from the same one from WrestleMania 17. No, but that's gonna be awesome. Then we had at the end of the show we had Drew and Seth Rollins, great match, and we had a Damian try to come in and cash in, and then Seth Rollins end up winning. I mean, we could have all predicted Seth Rollins.
They did a pedigree on the announce table. They pulled out all the stops, and again, that's why it's great that there's competition out there, because you really think back in 2011 or whatever that they'd be doing pedigrees on tables and flashing back to the Attitude Era type matches. No way. So that's why
they pulled out all the stops last night.
Right.
It was definitely a good show, and we'll say this show was great, and not every Monday Night Raw is going to be this great. They can't obviously.
No, when they do these special episodes, they really do them well, man.
They go all out. They really do. So, I mean, I'm definitely glad I caught that Raw last night live.
So now we're inching closer to Royal Rumble. Who do you have winning? Is it still Cody or Punk?
I mean, I feel like it's got to be one of those two.
Yeah.
I feel like it has to be one of those two. I'm trying to think of who needs that Rumble win more, and maybe Cody does. And maybe after Roman beats Rock, if Roman beats Rock at Elimination Chamber, say that match happens.
Yep.
Cody wins Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Picks Roman Reigns.
Yep.
And now he beats Roman Reigns after Reigns just beat The Rock. That's Reigns' biggest win of his title reign. Mm-hmm. And Cody comes in and beats him the next pay-per-view Mania. You know what I mean? So, honestly, I think if they're going to do it with Cody, they're going to do it at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I mean, he can win later on, but it's just going to get drawn out, and people are going to get tired of it.
It's pretty impressive that Cody can keep this babyface run going for. He's done it for 2 years now with the
Dude, I'm
WWE.
surprised no one's turned on him.
He still comes out and gets the huge whoa and the big
crowd loves him.
reactions.
Last night, I mean, when he sat there in that top row and waited for it and put his hand, I mean, the whole crowd hands up.
Yep.
I mean, you saw Jey Uso come out. I mean, he's got the whole crowd going too. So everybody was hyped last night in that arena. It was probably a good show to be at live.
Who do you think? Dude, I'm telling you, dude, we're in the golden age of.
Especially if you're not expecting The Rock to come out and you're just going to I mean, I know it's a big Monday Night Raw, but I mean, you're going there. You're not thinking Rock's coming.
Dude, you could turn on. You could not have watched wrestling since the Attitude Era, when shows were crazy and you didn't have to be necessarily a wrestling fan to find them that entertaining. You could watch last night Monday Night Raw after not watching for a while and be like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, you might be hooked back in.
Yeah,
wanting to watch some more.
Give me who do you have prediction-wise surprise entrances for the Rumble? I don't know who's going to win. I think Cody's going over. I don't think CM Punk needs to win the Rumble to main event night 1. I think him and Seth, that's awesome. I could see Brock coming back in the Rumble.
I think Brock. Yeah, I think you're right on with Brock coming back.
And this year might be Matt Cardona's year, dude.
You know what? They could bring him back for the Rumble. I know that he's saying that he wants to come back as Matt Cardona if he does. I mean, I'm sure if they want him to come back as Zack Ryder, he will. But I don't think he should come back as Zack Ryder right now because everybody now knows him. Matt Cardona, you know, he's been out there. We saw him a couple times. And
I think he's big enough as Matt Cardona. And what he could do, you know, he comes out. I'm sure the pop, if he does surprise entrance, people will know who that is.
Oh, yeah.
And just allude to the fact, maybe he does a spot and goes woo, woo, woo at the crowd. Then that ties him in. All the old school WWE fans know who that is. Okay, he's tied in. I don't think that'd be an issue.
Yeah, hit his music. Like, if you give him new music, just put the woo, 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 and then hit, like, a brand new theme song. Because then you know who it is, but you know he's Matt Cardona.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, and the wrestling fans will understand that. You know, if you kind of do something like that.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I'd love to see maybe Bubba Ray, but he's an Impact, so I don't know if that could happen. Yeah. Gangrel, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe Al Snow after this whole wrestlers show came out. I mean, I could see them bringing Al Snow in just to do a spot with Head. You know, I mean, the crowd would go crazy, and I could also see maybe that Hollywood Haley J chick being a surprise entrant in the Women's Rumble, but
could be.
I'm not too sure how they would do like an indie person like that. I'm not sure they would sign her exactly, but
and that's a good point, Chris. They need to build someone to go against Rhea Ripley. I mean, she's huge right now. She's awesome. She needs an opponent though, right? So.
Yeah, they got to start.
I'll be interested to see who if they bring Sasha Banks back. I mean, that's huge.
I mean, so for me, personally, I'm not like a huge Sasha Banks fan. I can appreciate, you know, that she has a lot of fans out there, but for me, she just doesn't do it for me personally. But she would be a huge name, to come in back for the Rumble. But I think her best bet is going to like AEW because I think that. If Tony Khan would sign her and do it right, she could be the star of AEW's women's division.
True.
You know,
very
like
true.
The star. And so I think that would be better off for her. I would like to see AJ Lee come back, maybe. I don't know, since Punk's back. Maybe get her. Maybe a Mandy Rose spot.
Huge.
Hey, I don't know. Maybe a James Ellsworth spot for the men's Royal Rumble. You know,
Enzo.
You know? I mean, okay, so Enzo would be top notch. You have Enzo come out as number 2. Okay, so whoever comes in as number 1, Enzo comes out on the mic.
Just cuts him.
You sloppy jalopy. Goes off, you know, and does the whole soft thing. SOFT because it's hard and soft. Hard and soft. I don't know. We should have got Enzo to do that for us when we saw him live. Oh well, but yeah, that would be cool. I don't know. There's not too many big stars that like are available right now. You know, everybody's kind of.
Give me X-Pac. He was in good shape when we met him.
Yeah, X-Pac. I mean, just X-Pac hearing that come on would be pretty sweet. Awesome. I don't know, a Vince McMahon Rumble.
Oh
I mean, Vince as number 30.
Hell yeah.
No chance. Da-na-na-na. Like the whole Rumble goes, no CM Punk, no Cody Rhodes. It's number 30, and it's Vince McMahon. And he comes out. He comes out and wins and main events both nights of WrestleMania. He beats Stone Cold on night 1 and Rock on night 2.
I mean, is Austin going to be at this? Dude, I'm just saying.
I think
the third time,
wise,
we're in the golden age of wrestling, and this is going to be the biggest, and it's trending like perfectly to be just the
biggest Mania.
Most massive WrestleMania ever.
And
where's Austin? Is Austin going to be here, you think?
He's going to make an appearance at least. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to wrestle because I don't think he should. The last match he did, freaking that's it, man.
Awesome.
That was freaking killer. I loved it, and that's all I need to see. But I want to see him come out. That's for damn sure. I want to be there and hear that glass shatter and see Austin chug some beers in the ring. I mean, how many beers did he drink during that match?
Did you see Suplex Vintage Wrestling has the Steve Austin Saloon or whatever?
Oh, nice.
They have all of his beers, which both of his IPA and his
they're awesome, dude.
Awesome beers.
His are good. And I don't even like IPAs, and I like his beers.
Yeah. Anyway, dude, I'm just excited to see what they do. It's going to be a great road to WrestleMania. I hope there's no sign pointing, though. I'm sick of that. But
there definitely is going to be sign pointing. Come on, it's Mania season.
I know. Anyway, you got anything else you want to get in there, Big Hard?
Well, I mean, I'm just happy for the nation to be here supporting us. We are definitely going to be coming out with some fan request videos shortly. We're just getting back on track with some recordings. So I'm just glad that you guys are still out there following us. Give us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Do us a favor. Shout this out to your neighbors, your friends, your mothers. If you're not hard, you know what to say. And
that's damn right.
We'll be at MLW this weekend, Philadelphia.
Yep.
2300 Arena.
Yeah. Matt Riddle's going to be in the main event. That's awesome.
Matt Riddle versus Jacob Fatu. I haven't seen either of those guys live. Like we said, we don't know any of the other people. We haven't seen anybody else from MLW. I've never been to one of their shows, so I'm excited to see it.
Sure, it's good.
If any fans are here watching that are going to be at the show next weekend, January 6th, 2300 Arena, MLW, let us know. Me and Randall, Shoot Brothers, going to be there. Come up, talk to us. We're pretty approachable. And, I'm just glad to be here with my little bro, man. What do you got to say, man?
Nothing, dude. Yeah. There's nothing better than, you know what's cool about wrestling fans? You want to make friends, you just go, yeah. And everyone else is doing it, and then you're in. It's like.
Yeah. Then the next guy.
So yeah, you see us out in Philly. I'm excited to go out in Philly. It's like my favorite thing to do. Go watch wrestling down there. So excited to go there. If you see us, say what's up, and that'd be awesome for us. But no, man, it's just if you're not hard, you're soft, and I just gotta let you know, Chris, it's okay to be soft here once in a while.
Now I know you say that, and I'm sure the nation appreciates that. So
okay, I'm gonna go play with my Sacco now.
Oh, Mr. Sacco, signed by Mick Foley himself.
Great Christmas present. All right, bro. Have a good night, man, and it was fun.
Yep. You're damn right.